Hello and welcome once again to the tea time, everyone. Mel here once again with the Katherine.
Yes, hello, I'm here.
And suffering, it seems.
Yes, suffering because of it's probably gonna date this episode a little bit, but it's fine. The European heat
Yeah,
wave of June 2026 for anybody who's watching this like 5 years in the future.
yeah. Red's been suffering too.
I believe it.
We're here with half of a new show. It's like a new season, but it's, this is the old show.
Yeah, there are some shows where I think calling new seasons new shows is like completely justified. Like, your Kamen Riders, your Precures, whatever. Your Bang Dreams. I don't think this is
Well,
applicable
no,
to
there's
Code
more
Geass.
like first half double O versus second half double O.
Yes.
Especially because it's the same guys mostly. So
Yeah, or a lot of similar guys.
But before that, what have you been up to in the intervening month?
Duh. Not that much, to be honest. I've just been taking it chill.
That's fair. I'm kind of doing the same.
I do have Kamen Rider
Okay.
update.
Okay.
If you want to spend a couple minutes on that.
We can.
I finished Kamen Rider V3. It's like it's my thoughts are basically that a lot of it is more of the same, but like slightly worse. But then like in the last like 10 episodes, they start getting a little bit of sauce with the secondary rider who's like a shocker guy who has to realize that shocker is bad. Um but and that stuff is all actually pretty fun. It's interesting how you can see it sort of like predate modern rider, secondary rider
Right.
stuff. But that is kind of like right at the end. That's the last like 10 episodes.
So to be clear, Riderman shows up in the last 10 episodes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Riderman
is a very late.
I thought he was there for longer.
Might be the last like 15.
He's like Dr. Kino.
Yes, he is kind of in that sense. Okay, no. The episode Friend or Foe, the Mysterious Rider Man is 43 out of 52. So less than 10 episodes even.
That's crazy, but also that's just kind of how that era was in a way.
Yes. I can definitely see why he would be the part of the show that stands out the most.
Yeah, it's just funny, like, oh yeah, he's like the fourth rider after 1 and 2 and V3, but also he's there for like such a small amount of time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes, I'll do X soon. I've never heard anything about Kamen Rider X. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Who can say?
It's probably not as good as Gundam X, but
That's true.
Yeah. Showa is not my domain, so I don't have any opinions other than that's interesting. Yeah, and it's like I know nothing. They had those weird movies around when Drive came out of like, what if there was Rider 3? And then they did like a V Cinema miniseries of like Rider number 4. Because I don't know if you've seen have you seen Drive yet or no?
No,
Okay.
I've
Well,
not
to be
seen
honest, this
Drive
doesn't
yet.
matter that much. But at the end of the movie,
Sure.
where it was like a Kamen Rider crossover, where they had Shocker Rider as Rider number 3. At the end of that movie, the secondary rider of Drive dies and doesn't come back, and then the V Cinema sequel to the movie brings him back so he can canonically be in the show Kamen Rider Drive, because of course the show Kamen Rider Drive didn't just comment on him dying, because that would be ridiculous, because he's just the main character of the show.
That's... Kamen Rider is really funny sometimes.
I have to imagine this is kind of what comic books are like.
Yeah.
Because there's never once in Drive where they're like, hey, go, Shijima, have you ever... Do you remember the time where you died? Goofy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much Toku stuff on my end. I've also been trying to chill. That said, last month I did forget to mention, because I didn't think to mention it until later. I did watch Hannibal season 1.
Oh, that's a good show.
Yeah. It didn't occur to me to bring it up until I was like looking through, like, because I was driving for 6 hours to my bar exam, and I was like, I should get some more pods to like fill up my feed with, and I remembered, oh wait, in the full Fate Moon Archive bonus Patreon pods, you did a spoiler cast on Hannibal. I was like, oh wait, I should talk to Katherine about this later.
Yes. Hannibal. That's a good show.
I've only seen season 1 at the moment, so I haven't started season 2.
Oh, you should. It only gets better.
I think I remember in the server Ben was saying that you finished it recently, so I should get to it.
We finished season 2 recently,
yeah, season 2.
And now we're on break because of the Toxic Gary Jam, but we'll do season 3 soon.
Yeah, I gotta know what happens. I just gotta get to it, you know. The fucking serial killer anime fight in the lot.
The serial killer anime fight is fucking sick.
It's really goofy.
Yeah. Yes. It's really goofy in a way that is super sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much I can actually say about that, because it's been a bit. Just so you know.
Right now. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
But yeah, looking forward to seeing where that goes. I guess we can just go to the red zone.
The
red zone.
Well.
Or whatever it's called. Red Roundup.
Red Roundup.
Insert musical transition here. Alright, that's good enough for my editing. We watched 5, I think, this time around, because that's what we had.
Yeah, that... Yeah, 16 through 19.
I don't think that's it. Am I crazy?
Did I miss one?
No,
I might have missed one.
Let's see. Gavan Infinity.
No. My numbers are fucked. Yeah, it should be. I think I might have only done 4. I might have accidentally missed one.
I watched 15 to 19.
Yeah. Okay, I did 15 to 18.
Okay, that works.
Whoopsies on my part.
That's fine. That's about that's a month's worth of episode anyway, so it's fine. And also, next month the new show's starting, so yeah.
Yeah, once again, kind of glad this is not going for 52 episodes because my lukewarmness towards the show has not particularly changed.
Yeah, like I feel like I liked some of the episodes this time around a bit better, but like, you know, I'm still not getting invested or anything.
Right.
But yeah, next month we get Monster Hunter, I guess. But yeah. Tell me about episode 15. Putting you on the spot.
Okay, that is a great question. For this time I tried to be good and watch them weekly as they came out.
Oh. So you're not like me where I just
yes.
I watched them the past week.
No, I was like for once I don't want to cram all the pod fucking like 2 days before we run it. Even though this is how I do it every time for every single podcast
I was kind of like,
I do.
I was capturing into my calculations, to be honest.
Yes, okay. There's a bomb threat. This is the bomb threat episode, right?
Yeah, there's the one about the comic relief Koyasu guy
who
He's
who
like,
wants
I'm gonna
to,
be
like,
Gavan.
be a Gavan and stop the bomb threat.
Yeah.
Yes. This is roughly coming back to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought this episode was all right.
Yes.
I feel like, you know, for a character who was getting on my nerves, as far as like there was only one joke and they kept running into the ground, they actually managed to make a decent character episode for it. Like, not like unpredictable, but
no.
Just no. It's like it's a nice, you know. Oh, they give him something to do to look cool and has no character stuff. He gets to be a good cop asterisk, all ACAB, but you know, in the fiction of the show.
yes. In the yes, I feel like you know, there is like on some level an inherent degree of copness in like most superhero things, but I feel like Gavan is not the strongest in the world, but it is like stronger than median.
Well, yeah, I mean,
say.
It's just a matter of like it's a difference when it's a cop themed Togo show. I'd be curious how we feel about Deca Ranger, for instance, in terms of like being a propaganda show. But yeah, and then I do like that he's like, for someone who's like the joke is like, oh, I'm more self-important than I actually am while looking down on the hero. I like that his thing is like, after actually doing the cool thing, he has his self-awareness of like, I have much to learn still. Because obviously, you know, it was never going to end with him replacing the protagonist as Gavan, so you know.
No, of course.
And the second episode, the train one.
Yeah. This one I kind of liked the aesthetic and
Yeah.
like the weird, relatively weird sci-fi
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like a weird Star Trek-esque episode, and maybe more like reminiscent of what the show seemed like early on when we got the Gavan episode in episode 4. And so it's a bit like, well, maybe the show should have had more episodes of this instead of like having 5 sets of episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think this one has so much to say, but it is fun. Like, oh yeah, this is a world where everyone digitized themselves, and also they're all on a train for some reason.
Yes. It's not like I wouldn't say it's super interesting, but like it is mildly carried on like a mildly fun premise, which honestly, by Gavan standards, probably puts it in like the upper echelon of episodes.
In the end, it's all to justify a new upgrade. but regardless, you know, it was fun having the train Gavan and stuff. There probably was some stuff in there about like how the AI girl has a character arc of some kind, but I wasn't paying attention to that part. And she's barely a character, so you know.
No. Yeah, you know.
This is the bonus segment, so we're not giving it the grace we would as if this was an actual show we were watching. Also, that's definitely partly because of our enjoyment of the show relatively. So.
Yes. I think I watched the first episode and I was like, oh, it's not very good. But I want to keep going. You know, maybe they'll pull it off. And I never really feel like they pulled it off.
Hoping the next show is better.
Maybe this is like first installment Blues.
Or just like it's the blatant holdover show. But regardless, you know, keep this. We'll see how things go, and adjust accordingly. Once again, obligatory sets an episode is the one I don't care the most about. This one where they all go to the Rose of Versailles party, I guess.
Wait, before that, there's like a Kiki and Koto episode, right?
Right, yeah. There's 2 of them this batch, actually. There's one with the thief guy.
And
like, that was another fun one where, like, he was asked to steal a meteor because the guy wanted to buy a big fancy crystal for his grandma because he's a grandma's boy, but he didn't know the big fancy face crystal was like 10 kilometers long, and therefore they have to stop this asteroid impact with this giant crystal inside an Amazon box. Honestly, one of the best episodes of the show. It's a good one. I like this one. And we find out at the end that
totally.
We find out at the end that the Phantom Thief guy loves his grandma as well. It's good.
Yes. This episode, I think I did like smile at some of the bits.
Just generally speaking, I think the Kiki and Koto episodes are consistently the stronger ones.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I do think, like,
honestly.
you know, again, like the Phantom Thief is a good character. He helps. He was the one in that one episode early on that was like one of the better ones as well. So, him just being a random guy in an apartment is pretty good. With like his own like fucking Spider-Man workshop of tool gadgets on his desk. I think there's like the running bit of like every Reiji comments that every universe has their own like police interrogation food. Which is another fun running bit. Then we get the boring that's an episode. This one I guess is not necessarily focused on his emotions thing as much, but just like there's like the fucking fancy party with the love scam stuff, and you know, it is what it is. I don't know if you have anything to comment on this one.
It's there. No, I think, like, when I see a Setsuna episode especially, I'm kind of, like, starting to check out, you know?
White Album 2 fans be
Setsuna
like...
has, like, a dead girl. No, I could never. That's my girl.
Oh, no,
but,
I meant the fan base
on the other
broadly.
hand.
But yes,
Okay, yeah. Yes, Setsuna, has, they talk a little bit about, like, Setsuna's dead girlfriend or whatever the fuck.
yeah.
This trope is way too common in modern toku shows that I've seen. I feel like they love using it as a shorthand. And not that it's, like, just toku shows that do this. A bajillion things do this.
Yeah.
But, I feel like modern toku shows that I've seen really love this trope.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, we're doing this. Roll my eyes, not paying attention.
Yeah.
There's definitely the most checked out I've been.
Yeah, and then I forgot to do the next episode because I didn't realize that one had come out. I was like, yeah, that's 4 Gavans, right?
Yeah, honestly, it's fine because, like, that one has, like, a cliffhanger at the end. It's not the Kikin Koda episode, but I'm also like, not sure how it goes. But yeah, if you didn't see it, then that's fine. Yeah. We might be in a position to end the show next time, so we shall see.
Yeah.
All right, in and out real quick. We can get on to the real shit.
Let me open up the summaries.
Yeah, so
yes, because you used wiki summaries, we'll probably just have a bit more of a, like, free-form conversation.
So to the audience, I finished watching this episode, like, an hour ago. Well, I had, like, 2 episodes to finish for today. I finished them, like, an hour ago. I was like, I don't got the time or energy to write actual summaries, so I just copied these, like, blurbs off the wiki.
Yes. Do you want to go first? Do I go first?
Let's do the thing again. Because this is part of the formula now. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails. I guess I'm going first. And once again, I held off on production history on R2 per your recommendation, so go into this totally blind.
Yep. Yes. The only thing that I think you should know, because I do think it informs how they wrote a lot of early parts of the season, is that their time slot changed. I'm pretty sure Code Geass Part 1 is like a midnight otaku show, weekend, and like Code Geass R2 is more prime time. I don't think this ends up having too much effect on like what they can and can't show, though
Yeah.
I suspect they would not be able to get away with the Nina masturbate scene on a prime time slot.
Probably not.
Yes. For the audience who is listening to this, in Japan, a lot of television viewing habits are centered around time slots specifically, so they kind of have to. The early episodes of R2 have to simultaneously be sequels to Code Geass Season 1, but also written as if you have never seen Code Geass before.
That explains some things I was thinking when watching these episodes.
Yes. I think it really explains a lot of their early writing decisions. I think particularly in the first half or so of R2.
Yeah, there were definitely some things where I was like, wait a minute, rhyming. But anyway, episode 1.
Yeah.
1 year after the first Black Rebellion, Lelouch Lamperouge has resumed his normal school life with no apparent memories of the year before. After skipping remedial gym class, he sets off with his younger brother Rollo to gamble at Babel Tower. Led by C2, the Order of the Black Knights launches an attack on the complex to retrieve Lelouch. C2 reawakens his memories, and Lelouch resumes his identity as Zero, while Suzaku Kurigugi declares to the Emperor that he will personally kill Zero. Which brushes over a lot of the set dressing and also just like, the fuck?
The set. This is basically a retelling of episode 1 of Code Geass.
Yes, very much so. It's like the same thing. Like, Lelouch leaves school, goes to do some chess stuff, and then gets confronted with the Britannian military just doing a massacre for the hell of it, basically.
Yep, and then C2 shows up, and he gets his memories back. I guess one thing that is pretty important to note is, Lelouch has a, quote-unquote younger brother named Rollo, who is, like, following Lelouch around and stuff.
Yeah. And also Suzaku...
And, Suzaku's, like, gone further up in the world, and Violetta is Lelouch's, like, school principal.
Yeah.
Presumably to, like, keep an eye on him.
She's at the school now, which is really funny. Obviously, we have the episodes, so we know already that Rollo is also there to spy on Lelouch, but, it's heavily implied already in this episode, so... But yeah, Suzaku directly answering to the Emperor is pretty crazy. I got to this part and told my friend, damn, Suzaku joined ICE to prove he can reform it from the inside.
So true!
There's a whole lot of, I feel like the first 4 episodes have a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of echoes of the first 4 episodes of season 1.
Totally.
But we get Katherine is still part of the Black Knights, but though she's undercover in, a bunny suit, which I think is another thing I'm noticing from this particular season, from the jump, is just kind of... It's hornier. It feels like.
I can totally see it.
It's not like it's not like there wasn't some degree of that in to begin with, because it is the target audience, but also just it feels more overt, where it's you're showing a lot of camera from specifically Callan's butt in the cockpit.
Yes, though that's a stock shot from R1, right?
I don't know, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it is. I feel like I've seen that shot a lot.
Maybe. Maybe just more noticeable because she's also in the bunny suit, so.
Yes. The addition of the bunny suit definitely helps.
Yeah.
Question mark.
But
I don't know if that's the word I would use, but
yeah, there's this weird bit of like, and Lelouch comments on this too. Like, they have the student council, except Nina isn't there for one thing, and also like. Although everyone knows, like, oh yeah, Callan is like a criminal, basically. So that memory didn't get erased. But
yeah. Yes. Though it does seem like they don't remember Nunnally.
No. Basically, Rollo has replaced Nunnally in all their memories.
Yes. No, not to talk too much about like fandom perception or whatever, but who's a deeply unpopular character? Is it? Yeah, it's Rollo.
I can see it. I kind of assumed from the jump he might not be that popular, even before we got to like.
Yeah.
He's interesting. I don't know what to think of him yet because he feels like he's also like he's an archetype, a well-worn one. So.
That's true.
Yeah. Also, there's like the stuff with Callan is like, oh, there's weird, gross, misogyny, sex trafficking and stuff.
Yeah. They really go like, not to say that these things have no basis in reality, but they really do go a bit like the depiction of the oppression of the Japanese is a bit more over the top. Like they have bits where like they have like Japanese guys like fighting each other in gladiator matches.
That's another thing in this episode. Yeah. Always, as always, important to remember that the Japanese Empire did this to Chinese and Korean people in real life, not in this fictional world where it's the Japanese who are the victims, which is one of the weird complications we have to deal with the show, perhaps more so as things go on. Also, the Chinese are here, and there's more to unpack with that later, I think.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Like we have the one guy who's cool, who's Jinkei. I think that's how they say his name. But then everything else is sort of like.
Yeah, and like even the cool guy is like a bit of a like stock wuxia trope character, The vibes are bad.
Though, to be honest, I don't know to what degree you can separate a wuxia trope character from a Bushido trope character besides an ethnicity, but
That's true. That's true.
If he had a katana, he would just be like, samurai guy saying, "Oh, zero, don't know," or something like that. Also, yeah, like there's so much like a retread of episode 1 of season 1 where like even Lelouch does the same thing to the.
Real sorry. I'm getting an emergency phone call apparently. Just a minute.
Okay.
Okay, back. That was a very quick thing to resolve, luckily.
That's good. All right. Yeah. Even the way that like Lelouch uses Geass the first time to have the massacring people kill themselves, it's like, oh yeah, it's level 1 again.
Yes. It's them being like, okay, we got to do episode 1 again for the new audience.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess other than that, we can just go on to episode 2 because I imagine like more stuff to talk about specifically.
Yeah. Okay. So, episode 2 is Lelouch directs the Black Knights in a counterattack against Britannian forces and recalls how his memories were altered by the Emperor following the Black Rebellion. The new mass prototype production Nightmare Frame Vincent arrives and wreaks havoc on the Black Knights, but Uribe sacrifices himself to buy Lelouch C2 and the others the time needed to collapse the tower. The Black Knights cause the collapse of Babel Tower, which kills both the Viceroy and creates a road straight to the Chinese Federation consulate, where the Black Knights escape to. Zero broadcasts his plan to recreate the United States of Japan, and the Britannian military retreats, but the pilot of the Vincent, Rollo, is not so easily swayed. After arriving at the console grounds, he confronts Li Xingye, revealing that he too possesses the power of the Geass.
Yeah. We get the reveal of how the duel with Suzaku at the end of the last season went, which is they both missed and shot each other.
Lelouch got owned.
No, but importantly, they both shot and missed, and then Suzaku just spin kicked as he does.
Yes. The Suzaku spin kick is a very iconic moment, I think. There's lots of memes.
I know it's a meme because he keeps doing it. Like even in episode 1 of the season 1, where he was he was wearing a mask. I realized, oh, that's Suzaku because he did the spin kick.
Yes, but I feel like the reason it's a meme is because of this.
That makes sense. And then he I don't know. I feel like at this point I'm well, Suzaku's definitely one of the most evil characters in the show. If I didn't think that before, because he takes Lelouch directly to Charles. And it's make me one of your elite knights, and he answers directly to Charles now. And also you find out that Charles has Geass of his own to rewrite the memories of Lelouch. Geass in both eyes, even.
Yes.
And we also, I forget where we find out. It might be in a later episode of this batch where we find out that he's in Charles in cahoots with the V2. I think it's later, but I'll get to look at that later. But yeah. Yes. Also part of this is the Viceroy was ignorant of Lelouch and the entire operation to capture him or whatever. So it's internal division, which Lelouch uses to his advantage.
Yes. Otherwise, the other main thing that happens this episode is they develop the relationship between Lelouch and Colin a little bit in the aftermath of Colin knowing that he's Zero. Yeah. She's
it's complicated because she doesn't like Lelouch and hates the lack of secrets. Well, she hates the secrets, but she's still loyal to Zero and the idea of Zero. She doesn't know how to balance these in her head.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, she's she has a moment of did you use your Geass on me to make you loyal? And he's nah. But yeah, it's interesting. Just the way she has she still has sort of torn between the two identities. She doesn't know how to think of it, but
Yes. It's kind of she dislikes Lelouch the person, but likes Zero the symbol, which I think is an interesting wrangle to put on their dynamic.
Yeah, and before in season 1 when she didn't know who Zero the person was, she was maybe able to separate those less.
Right.
Even if in essence the way she reacted to Lelouch is not dissimilar to how she reacted to him now. Also we have Rollo's Vincent, which is the mass-produced Lancelot. There's a lot more Lancelots now, or things like it.
Yeah, I'm not particularly a fan of the Vincent, aesthetically. I think my thing probably is just that if it's not the Hyakushiki, I don't like gold robots.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just not distinct enough from the Lancelot. I don't mind it, but it's it's not that different really. I didn't really know who Harabe was, but I guess he was like one of the four swords who just dies now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guilford is here. He's like the last of Cornelia's guys, and so he's trying to like do his best for her sake. Which has its own stuff. And then, they go to the Chinese consulate, and Lelouch guesses the ambassador to let them declare independence in the consulate.
Oh my, the voice acting for the ambassador is awful.
I was like,
oh, it's a really bad vibe.
It's hard to like have him next to Jin Kei, who's just like a normal character, and then they have this guy. It's like, this feels racist.
Yes, it feels really bad.
And it gets worse when you realize, he's also a eunuch, because the Chinese Federation is still the Qing dynasty or something, with eunuchs in the high court, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Right, but also, I think in like his like season 1 Giran Zavi speech, Charles is like, the Chinese prioritized wealth distribution. So it's like, what, are they like communist monarchists?
I mean, I feel like there's a very liberal sense of like, clearly the Chinese Communist Party is still, the Communist Party, well, liberals would call it the CCP, but they're like, clearly this is just the new dynasty, and they'll lose the mandate of heaven when the people inevitably are fed up with them because they're evil. So maybe that's the weird brain stuff going on. I don't know. It's like weird because like it's like they can't, even when evoking monarchy China, they can't help resist going to Red Scare China tactics as well. I don't know. It's weird.
Yes, though also, like, the character who calls out China for being overly focused on wealth distribution is the, like, social eugenicist fascist villain. So,
it is super Hitler, so,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's a bit where like Charles is like takes Suzaku to the fucking weird heaven temple or whatever, and he's like, "You're the only one I get to show this to, because you're the only one who knows about Geass. Not even my kids know about this." Which is a weird like level of like elevation of Suzaku. Like it's like. Like Charles is like the super racist, right? So why is he doing this? Unless he's like he's not that bothered by a specific ethnicity part. I don't know.
Yes, I mean, Charles seems more like the sort of like social eugenicist type of racist, where he's like, yeah, might and strength are what's important. It's just that some races have more of it.
Yeah. 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 That's probably enough for episode 2, so I guess I'll move over to episode 3.
Yeah, wow, these early R2 episodes are kind of light, because they're meant to, like, adjust a new audience into the, like, vibe of the show.
Yeah, like, in some ways it feels like everything happens so much, but because it's, like, retreading ground. Let's see. Episode 3, Lelouch returns to Ashford Academy during the broadcast, causing Valletta's special division to have doubts. He was the Zero on TV. Lelouch investigates Nellie's whereabouts and realizes the whole school's memories were altered to remove resistance. Alistair Suzaku leads the Britannian front lines in the Lancelot in the war against the Europea United. Gilbert G.P. Guilford this is how you know that I didn't write these, because everyone is all these names that I would not care to write normally in full. Cornelius Knight, an acting viceroy of Area 11, presents an ultimatum to Zero: reveal himself or let the incarcerated Black Knights face execution. Needing information on his sister's whereabouts, Lelouch sets a trap to turn Rollo into his pawn. Lelouch concocts a plan to distract the special vision while he tries to use his Geass on Rollo. However, Rollo's Geass allows him to gain the upper hand when he uses it to stop Lelouch's sense of time. Rollo has King Crimson, which I guess it revealed more in like the next episode. But yeah, his thing is like he doesn't pause time, but he time mentally pauses for other people within the range.
Yes, which I do think is kind of sad.
Yeah. We get more of the Callan's dynamic with Lelouch happening, where like Lelouch, in order to reveal off the scent, like goes to school and allows C2 to pretend to be Zero again, and Callan like, I don't like that. I don't like more secrets. Also, we get Suzaku doing colonial conquest, which is crazy.
There's the woe.
Like, I'm just kind of like, damn. How do you think you're the good guy here? Like, he doesn't. He does. It's funny because he does it in like the Kiriyamato way. Like, I will conquer you, but like not. I won't kill you. I'll disarm you.
Yes, Code Geass is, I think, a show a lot more self-aware about how evil that is.
Like on one hand, I was thinking, like, Suzaku feels like a more committed Amuro, where I feel like he has... Amuro, I think, expresses similar ideas to Char at the end of Char's counterattack. But I feel like that comes from a place of, like...
Yeah.
Amuro doesn't have much of, like, a strong ideology and conviction or direction of his own. He kind of just like, well, I guess I'll go along to Bell because I guess that's what I should do, rather than like that's a thing he cares about. He's like, yeah, I'm going to join the guys who are the Titans Mark II, but with better publicity. Because what else am I going to do? Bright's there, that's fine. Whereas like Suzaku has like a real conviction to his, I will betray my friends to do reform.
Yeah.
And then we're also starting to get like introduced to the other knights. We get like there's supposed to be 7 of them, but we only see like 2 of them. I don't know. It might be next episode where we actually get like them introduce them proper, but we're getting like slow drip feeding of like the one girl on her phone, Anya, and then Gino, who's like the guy who's like really gay for Suzaku. Also, I think like it's funny that there's like the battle in Europe where Lancelot's taking out all the European forces, and Schneider's like, I'm so proud of Suzaku for his promotion.
Modern imperialists don't even know how to conquer anymore, except Suzaku. They just look at phone and be gay.
It is funny, like, despite... It is kind of funny, like, despite how, like, inherently racist and, like, legally racist the Britannian Empire is, all the royal families seem to just think Suzaku is chill. They all like him. Like, I mean, Cornelia, it took her a bit, but, like, most of, like, the royal family is just like, nice, cool. He's one of the, I guess, good ones, quote unquote, to them. And I guess to their credit, he does do their job for them pretty well. We get a bit of like Rollo being an assassin. I mean, he just is prone to just killing people because it's easier. Like when he's giving the discussion to Valletta. And he's like, what?
Yeah, there's a bit where, like, he and Valletta are talking about the Geass, and, like, some dude comes in, and, Rolo just insta-murks him, because he's like, nobody but us is supposed to know about the Geass.
Yeah, and then, like, we get a thing in, like, the next episode where Rolo overhears other people on the team complaining to Valletta, he keeps killing us. I can't work on a team with a guy who's just gonna kill me. There's I think there's like this is also where like Lelouch is doing his investigation, feeling things out. He's like, well, Nunnally can't be at the school, so I assume my dad has her. And also he kind of like susses out, like, because of Zero's appearance, like Rolo was trying to suss out if Lelouch gains his memories, but then Lelouch is trying to be like, okay, who is this faker? And so like, he like gets Rolo to trip up about like what happened today.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the most like in this episode we had the most egregious sort of like, okay, I think this is a bit excessive the way they're retreading stuff from season 1, where we have yet another scene of Callan in the shower in episode 3, which also happened in episode 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, that's a little too much. And then she embarrasses herself in front of C2 and Jinke. And there's we get the shot of, we learn about all the former guys who are in the prison, and their sort of like divided feelings on like, you know, Lelouch leaving them and like being arrested after losing the battle. So they're all kind of like, will Zero save us? No, he's gonna betray us. We're just gonna die, etc., etc. And then Lelouch basically manages to like escape from observation by causing a stir at a mall with Shirley. Also, we find out that C2 gave him a nice contact lens so he can like walk around normally, because his Geass is now that he has his memories in his Geass back, his like eyes back to like glowing all the time. Which is funny how that works. He's just like, oh, he just forgot about it, and now it turned it off, but not, you know. And then there's a bit where like while on his quote unquote date with Shirley goes like, damn, I'd love to ride a cable car one day, which means we get an excuse to have the flashback to back in season 1 with the mouse stuff, which did remind me that like I am curious what they're gonna do Shirley now, because it's like her memories got erased again, and so now what is the situation? Because like it felt like it felt like they were going somewhere at the end of season 1 with like, oh yeah, she lost the memories, but then she realized because of the note that Lelouch was Zero and was going to confront him about it, but wasn't able to. And now is that a thread that's abandoned, or are they going to do something with that later? That's what I think.
You'll find out. I unfortunately can't say anything.
Of course. But I think, other than that, we can get on to maybe episode 4?
Sure. Lelouch deducts the nature of Rolo's Geass and convinces Rolo to spare him. In return, he will hand over C2. Li Jinke confronts the eunuch Gao Hai and kills him to take command of the consulate. As the deadline approaches, Guilford prepares to execute the captured Black Knights until Zero appears, challenging him to a duel. Using the same strategy from the Black Rebellion, he causes confusion among the pertaining military as they are dumped into Chinese territory. While the Black Knights rescue the prisoners, Rolo tries to kill Lelouch for his betrayal. However, he takes a bullet meant for Rolo, giving the youth pause. Lelouch plays on his insecurities about his future and his sibling relationship, convincing him to join his cause. Man, I'm not blaming you for, like, not writing summaries, to be clear, it happens. But
Yeah.
wow, these wiki summaries are not good.
No, they never are. I wasn't expecting them to be, but I was like, I'm time crunched, and it is like short enough to get the gist of it. But yeah, giving the youth pause. I'm always
totally.
saying this.
Yeah, I'm like, what were they cooking with that one?
Yeah. I think it's like a rule of every wiki summary to be sort of bizarre. I guess when I think about it, like there's maybe it is just more straightforward R2 in a way that I didn't think about, because I feel like a lot of the stuff keeps happening to a similar degree, and like the cast is large. Like I think there was a thing like Brad was telling me about earlier this week where he was like, damn, it sure is crazy that they keep all these characters around and don't kill a lot of them off sooner. Because it sure seems like we have all these characters, and what are we going to do with them? And introducing more of them. Yeah, we get the whole thing of like, I don't know, I guess because of Lelouch's Geass, the consul general is like a traitor, and so he gets killed.
Yeah.
This part was a bit unclear to me because it seems like he was going against the government's orders, and so Jinkei kills him for being a traitor. But also Jinkei kind of rolls along with it, but in a more Machiavellian way, where he's like, well, I can still use you, just, on my terms.
Yeah.
It was really unclear to me. There does seem to be a bit where he gets his motorcycle back. That's just like a thing that happens in the montage.
Yes.
There's a bit where like Guilford is like, well, I don't actually like doing this mass execution thing myself. But he's useful as like a both catch-22 if either Zero shows up or he loses the support of the people by not showing up.
Yes, if anything, I'm a little impressed they kept them alive that long.
Yeah. Especially since the thing that we hadn't talked about was like the story was that Zero had been executed. So like the fact that he shows up alive is like, wait a minute, is this the real one? Is this the same one, or is it a different guy? Which is also like some of the confusion of like, is Lelouch to have his memories back among the people who know he's alive? And also there's like, because Oki is on the chopping block, this is where we get revealed that Valletta still has some lingering feelings from her, like when she had like her double life, she didn't completely forget those memories, but like, things are complicated. And then we get
then like the other big thing this episode is like Lelouch manipulating Rello's like Brocon complex.
That happens kind of towards the end, where during the midst of there's a big duel, and then like he guesses a guy so that he's like, we'll fight with one weapon, and my weapon is that shield, and he uses it to fucking Eureka 7 skateboard when he does the floor drop thing. Which is fun. And then they do the thing which is not actually true, where it's like, you got dumped on the embassy, that means you're on foreign territory, which means you can't go. Which is the thing where like Suzaku, who's the stickler of the rules, is like, all the fellow knights are like, can we go crush them? And Suzaku's like, no, we can't break international law. Even though I want to.
Suzaku's so funny.
He's definitely like the best interpretation of whatever Kiriyamato's archetype is. Because he has actual stuff going on underneath, and also he's like not necessarily the protagonist. Let's see. And yeah, there's the bit where I think he's like I think it's like Andreas Dalton's son was the guy who Lelouch Geass into shooting him at the right time so that he could shooting Rollo at the right time so he could like protect him to like manipulate him.
Yeah.
And Lelouch is like, "Don't worry, you're my brother. Even if the memories are fake, I'll be true. I'll give you a new future." And then you realize Hayes like, "You fucking dipshit! You replaced my sister. I'm gonna betray you when as soon as I can," which is funny. I assume. I'm hoping that it gets more interesting than that later, because like I feel like it'd be boring if like Lelouch was just like committed to that and didn't have like a more complex relationship with Rollo as time went on. But
right,
we shall see.
You'll see.
And then the episode ends with like Suzaku's coming back to school, which is funny when he's like, when he's like so far high up in the government. And I guess that means we can go to episode 5. That's me now.
That is in fact you.
We're at an hour recording, so I guess we're making good time.
Yeah, but part of it is that Gavan was very light, and these early R2 episodes are like not super light, but they're like kinda light,
maybe. Yeah, we shall see. Episode 5, Suzaku returns to Ashford Academy to investigate Lelouch. With the Black Knights reassembled, Lelouch plans to lead the resistance while maintaining a facade as a student. A welcome party is held for Suzaku at the Academy, and C2's love of pizza threatens to reveal Lelouch's secret. I did not read these before, by the way. I just copy-pasted them.
No!
Callan arrives to retrieve her, but is seen by Valletta. She tells Lelouch how she came with Kaname Ogi the previous year, and Lelouch uses information to blackmail her. Alone, Suzaku reveals to Lelouch his goal of becoming the Knight of One, which would allow him to complete governing authority over the area of his choosing. To test Lelouch, he allows him to speak on the phone with the new Viceroy of Area 11, Nunnally v. Britannia.
Well, that scene is fucking iconic.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is the money shot for this batch, that's for sure. This is the most we are so back with anything that happened in Code Geass moment so far in R2.
Totally.
This episode starts with Tamaki telling all the Black Knights bonsai, which I'm like, well, okay. Look,
I don't know about that
it's one of those things where I'm like, no, I know in this context Japan is colonized, but you can't just like use all the Japanese nationalist tropes when they have real life baggage.
That's true.
Someone, okay, roll my ass bit. Colin is still annoyed by secrets when he won't talk about who Rollo is, but she's in the inner circle of like only her and C2 know he's Lelouch, which is interesting because I'm also like, I wasn't sure if this was going to be a season where Lelouch is going to operate without his secret identity and how that would change the dynamic.
Right.
But, we shall see. Also, he just like shows up and everyone's like, hey, what the fuck, why'd you leave in the middle of the battle? And he's like, don't worry about it.
He's like, I got a plan. And
he's like, I have my reasons.
Yeah, dude had a plan.
And Ogi and Toto were like, well, I guess for strategic classified, whatever, secrecy, that's fine. And everyone's like, I don't know, I guess so. There's a degree to which it almost feels like too easy that, I guess because their rank, Toto and Ogi being willing to throw their support behind Zero helps, but it kind of brushes things over really easy in a way that maybe is too smooth. But like, if we see further friction later, we shall see. Suzaku showing up is dramatic, but obviously they have to pretend to be friends. And of course, like, because they're on the same side, Suzaku is like talking to / reporting to. I don't know to what degree he outranks Valletta, but they are like talking together. about the whole situation.
I mean, he's like only like a couple ranks below Charles,
at
right?
this
I feel like he probably
in my own notes, I wrote
point.
he reported to her, but then I was like, wait a minute, he's like he's like answering to the emperor directly, so he's like probably one of the high. He's weirdly enough one of the highest ranking people in the entire empire at this point, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely proof that his belief system works. Ignore the war crimes.
Yeah. Like, it kind of hits home again later when you see in a couple episodes he's just leading the Navy. It's like Jahan.
Yeah.
Which is like a thing you can't say about most Gundam protagonists at this point, which I think is also a fun wrinkle.
Totally. Yes, I generally think the show does a good job of being inspired by Gundam while still sort of being its own thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think the show's better for not being Gundam AU, but also if it was a Gundam AU, it would still be one of the better ones and more unique ones, which is also interesting.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, it feels like for things
total.
that are Gundam AUs, there's too much commitment to just retreading UC instead of doing things that are interesting and new. So,
Yeah.
We get the formal names of like the two other knights that Suzaka hangs with, and also their Arthurian naming for their nightmare frames. So we get Gino's Tristan, which is, I guess, has a bow because Tristan. But also its main gimmick seems to be that's the Zeta Gundam, so it transforms into a plane, and everyone's kind of like, "Oh, hey, a plane! Oh no, it's a nightmare frame."
Yes. I know this is something that like bothers other people a lot more than it bothers me, but I think there are a lot of people who are who don't like the fact that the robots in R2 feel more technologically advanced.
I guess it does feel like a weird jump of 1 year.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, maybe Lloyd is just busy with like making new versions of Lancelot or something. They probably could have gotten, if it was like more than a time skip of 1 year, like, Double O had like a 2-year time skip, and is it like 5 years for 0079 and Zeta? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess they can't do too big a one because they want to keep the school setting.
Oh, yeah, that's
right?
true. Yeah. Which, I mean, is the thing that makes Code Geass different and interesting in many ways. So, it is what it is. I'm able to suspend my disbelief because it's not that important in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Yeah, no. The thought just came to my mind because I do think it's one of the things that comes up in like discussion about this season,
and Anya has a Mordred, which is funny. For fate reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
She's always on that phone.
She's trying to roll Mordred in grand order.
It's funny that Millie is like, I need to make up for the failures of last year, and I'm gonna definitely make the world's biggest pizza this time. Which leads to the delightful scene. One, I think this is the one where this is where C2 reveals to Charles. It reveals that V2 was like Charles' first friend or comrade, and is the one that's the source of Charles' Geass, and also who told Suzaku about the Geass and all that stuff. And then we get one of the best moments in the show where Shirley shows up, and so Lelouch just pushes C2 into the tomatoes and closes it so Shirley doesn't see her. And then we get Callan and the otter mascot trying to kidnap Lelouch, and then Gino takes the tomato truck to make the pizza while C2 is still inside it, and then Lelouch is trying to chase after it, but he's like the least athletically fit of all of his friends.
Yes.
Good bit. And then Callan like briefly bumps into Valletta, and then talks to Lelouch, and then mentions Ogi to him, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I didn't know about this subplot. How did I not know about this?" Which he then uses to like blackmail Valletta into being on his side, kind of. This was weird when it happened because like C2 like whispers in his ear, presumably something like adult, because But like then it cuts to like Rollo holding Valletta at gunpoint while Lelouch walks in, and at first I was like, "Is this a flashback?" But then Lelouch walking in is like, "No, wait a minute, it has to be." It happens after this because I had to rewind a bit. Like, it was very confusing the way this scene was cut.
Yeah.
It does feel weird, like to have her be brought onto his side. I guess it's through blackmail, but also I don't know. I guess we shall see. It does feel like interesting that she has going back and like maybe I did like those feelings even though she felt so steadfast in her opposition to them when she got her memories back the first time.
Right, yes. It's one of those things where I don't feel like this plot line is developed enough for it to like really land for me emotionally, but like you can see what they're going for at least.
Yeah. I do like the wrinkle of like, oh, you got a promotion to Baron because you helped catch Zero, which means you could lose your promotion if they find out. Which is like the sort of the leverage they use.
Yeah.
And then we get the great scene on the roof where like Suzaku's like, no, I'm not going to just be the knight of 7. I'm going to be the knight of 1, which means the best knight, and then I'm going to get Japan to myself. And then Lelouch reasonably critiques this, like, oh, you mean a protectorate? Like, it's like not actually independent Japan, but like, like a viceroyalty at best. A colony still. And then, of course, we get the really good shot of like the fucking phone call, and Lelouch just like, oh no, I can't say shit.
Oh, yeah, the phone call. It's such an iconic.
Like you can just like seeing scowling Suzaku behind him, just being like, okay, what are you gonna say? Which carries it over to episode 6.
Yeah. The episode 5 cliffhanger. It's so
definitely
good.
a highlight.
Like, oh my
definitely
God.
the highlight of this batch for me, I think.
Yeah, same. So Rollo uses his Geass to buy Lelouch time to say words of caution to Natalie without revealing his reawakened memories to Suzaku. Unwilling to fight against Natalie, Lelouch orders the Black Knights to capture her as she is transported to Area 11 by airship. Successfully boarding the vessel, Zero meets and tries to convince her that Britannia is using her. Natalie reveals that she volunteered for the position and that she wishes to continue the special administrative zone of Japan, requesting a bewildered Zero to join her. Britannian reinforcements hinder the Black Knight's assault and the airship crashes into the sea. Suzaku manages to save Natalie, taking her away from Lelouch a second time, while Colin rescues Lelouch from the wreckage.
Yeah. I do like Rollo using his power to be like, give him a moment. That's a fun bit.
Yeah.
Of course, Lelouch can't reveal to her that he is Zero, so that makes things harder, including in the attempted rescue / capturing, where she assumes, oh, you're gonna kill me like my siblings, not knowing. He's like the last person who would do that, but he can't tell her, oh yeah, I'm your brother who's here to save you. Also, Callan gets owned a bit and then gets an upgrade. This is a part where like, oh, is this gonna be like flying robots is gonna be more of a thing this season? Because the other knights alongside Suzaku having like flight packs is like seen as a big advantage, and it's sort of like Rakshata coming back with a flight pack for Callan is like significant, and also a new arm. Very convenient that she had it just the moment Callan blew it up her own arm. Yeah, it's a. We'll have to, I guess, talk about Nellie's plans as we get further into the next episodes, but
yeah,
it is interesting the way it's like, because this feels like the kind of thing that feels like an obvious setup by Charles in a way, but also there's a
yes.
lot of like Nunley insisting her own agency here, which I don't think like the show wants to deny her that agency. It can
Right, because,
it can be two things at once, of course. But go ahead, sorry.
yeah, I was just gonna say, because, there is kind of this, whole thing, well, we'll talk about more next episode, but there is this whole thing of, Lelouch does see Nunnally as a person, of course,
Yeah.
but on some level, right, there's this thing of, she is also an object to be protected.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that sort of challenge.
Yeah, he's like paternalistic, and her like disability does not help. And in fact, adds to this.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
Also, the way a lot of people talk about her as like, oh, she's the viceroy, is also like adding to that. And obviously, it's all complicated. And like, well, her political position isn't like a morally good one, but as because colonial governor, but
no.
There's nothing stopping her from being like her own political actor and with her own ideals and stuff. So we shall see how that's investigated.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that he wasn't able to like communicate to her that like, oh, I'm your brother who will not kill you.
Yes. They're really leaning into I don't feel like it's intentional, but I feel like there's almost a reading of this episode you can do where it's Shizaku is grooming Nunnally into being Yuffie too, politically.
Yeah, and this comes up a bit later, but there's definitely a bit of like the way she's treated by her staff is like she's learning the things Yuffie had to put up with as like the person who was like important, but like not actually respected in terms of her opinions, just like her status.
Yeah.
This is also the episode. This is also the episode where Charles calls V2 Nissan, and I'm like, what the fuck is their dynamic?
Yeah.
What is going on? What the fuck do these two have going on? This is also when we get the reveal that this is a JRPG plot, because Charles is like, I'm going to kill God.
Yes.
Which does lead to a speech where he's like, the Ten Commandments are wrong, which is definitely in opposition to the empires that Britannia was based off of, which are heavily based on justifying their atrocities with Christianity. Which is interesting. I think this episode was a lot of the battle rages, so maybe I don't know to what degree.
Yeah, totally.
So maybe.
Yeah, maybe best to move on to the next.
I feel like is there more to talk about? But no, there isn't really. So we can probably there's probably more to talk about with these next two ones because we get to like the more about Nunnally's plan, quote unquote. Episode 7. Nunnally is sworn in as a new viceroy and announces the restoration of the Special Autonomous Zone of Japan, which, if you don't remember, listener, is what Yuffie wanted to do. Knowing he cannot go against his sister, Lelouch slips into a state of depression before he can relinquish himself to drugs. Callan steps in, reminding him of his responsibilities as Zero. Meanwhile, the Black Knights are under attack by a Britannian naval fleet led by Suzaku. Rushing the battlefield, Zero leads the Black Knights to victory. He then announces his intention to accept Nelly's offer to join the SAZ.
Yeah.
yeah, Lelouch is like super fucked up about like, oh, my sister is technically on the opposite side. Does that mean I don't fight or what?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. There's some fun character stuff this episode. There's also some really cringe stuff with fucking Princess Kage being like, Colin, see you too. We're all we're just concubines, and it's like obviously that's not what the show believes, but it is a bit like.
Abio does this better.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, yeah, there's a better version of this in a later Gundam series, but like actually,
Yeah.
It is. I guess to some extent, Lelouch does have a bit of a harem, which is a bit cringe. But Kaguya invited herself and isn't actually part of it, which is funny.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes Kaguya is funny.
Yeah. So we got Lelouch is fucked up, had a bad nightmare. Rolo, I think, is fucked up about like realizing, oh yeah, his actual sister is here, and I'm not shit. There's the fun bit of irony where Lelouch is like, well, Suzaku is my enemy, but also technically speaking, I can trust him with protecting my sister, which is what I wanted him to do a year ago anyway. Which is a fun, fun wrinkle. Obviously, because of how things went last time, the autonomous zone is met with suspicion by everyone. Reasonably, and I think given our discussion last time, I'm also like, how will we think about this? Because I'm also not sure how to think about it. Because I'm also like, well, I don't know. Reform isn't necessarily the best option, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about the autonomous zone next episode because the payoff this time is a little different.
Yeah. Lelouch is so depressed he destroys his phone and throws it out a window, and then goes to get some drugs. I think there's a bit where like Rolo like chases him out of the train. Well, first he uses his Geass to get everyone in the train car to go to a different train car so he can have his own personal train car, which is really fun. And then Rolo plays the Nunley speech to drive him out of the train car. C2 continues to have conversations with Marianne about like Lelouch being Zero, and he's like, I don't know. C2 like gives the impression like, oh, it doesn't matter to me if he's actually Zero, just as long as he's around and alive. But obviously there's a whole bit of like, oh, if the Black Knight existed for Nunley's sake, how can they continue to exist in opposition to her as the Viceroy? And then Callan tells him winners don't use drugs because he's about to use refrain.
Yes, there's this to me feels like a real, one of the writers like, what if we did Evangelion? Because it, like, leads into a scene where, like, Lelouch, like, it tries to beg Colin for sex to, like, get his mind off shit.
Yeah. Which, she does slap him for. Even though she's like, normally I'd be into this, but not now.
Yeah.
And she's, she does have the point of like, listen, as Zero, you have a greater responsibility to more people. So you can't just like flake, which is true. You need to get out of your funk. And then it's funny, Rolo shows up right after and it's like, well, if not her, maybe me. Because he gets on all right close to him where I'm like, are they gonna kiss? They won't, but maybe.
No, can you imagine?
It's like they wouldn't do that because they're cowards, but you can tell they frame the scene intentionally like that. Yeah. And then I think there's a bit where like Callan's like, maybe I can just become Zero and put on, I'll just put on the mask and be Zero. And C2's like, I don't know if you can do that. But regardless, Lelouch goes to the school, has fireworks with everyone, and it's like, my friends, I have to do the thing. And so he goes and does the thing. And then he saves the Black Knights by like doing some methane gas on the ocean floor shit. And then he's like, "No, you can't shoot me, Suzaku, because actually I'm going to go along with Nunnally's plan." And Suzaku's like, "You are?" And then all the Black Knights are, "You are?" And that brings us to episode 8.
Yeah. The Black Knight's questions are his decision to cooperate with the formation of the Special Administrative Zone of Japan, and the Britannian Army remains wary of his intentions. In a private conversation with Suzaku, Gino Weinberg, Anya Alstheim, Lloyd Ausplund. I've never said so many of these characters' last names. Like, come on, Wiki.
I've never said them in my life before.
And Miss Lohmeyer. Zero requests that he be exiled from Area 11 in exchange for delivering 1,000,011s to the SAZ. During the opening ceremony, every participating 11 dresses as Zero on cue, giving Suzaku no choice but to exile all 1,000,000 Zeros rather than start another massacre.
Yeah. It is weird. This is a weird direction. I don't know what to think about. Once again, we're talking about like I think last time I made the comparison, like Yuffie's massacre was just like the SAZ as the Oslo Accords on speedrun. And so like, despite Nunnally and Yuffie's and Suzaku's intentions, the SAZ could never be truly good for the colonized, for the Japanese people in this case. And yet Lelouch, in his desire to not fight his sister, is still like, well, for the sake of peace, because my sister's in charge. If it was Cornelia, I would still fight, but for my sister, I'll do this insane plan to become a diasporic nation, I guess, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I do think it's interesting.
Yeah. It's also like obviously loaded because like it has happened to like lots of nations subject to colonization and genocide across history. Some of which are still like majority diaspora as opposed to being in their homeland, like Palestinians or Circassians. But so it feels like it would load. Once again, it's like the more they lean into like actual colonial things in a more heightened way, the more it feels maybe egregious for it to be Japan doing this to itself. Even if it's like, well, it's not these things don't happen in history, but usually it's also not like I am Spartacus and then they all leave on a boat in an aura farming way.
Yes. Yes. I did think that was very fun though.
It is a fun for as far as like anime melodrama bullshit. It is a fun reveal. Really goofy though, but
100%.
There's a good bit where like someone tries to assassinate Suzaku for being a traitor. Which is like a discussion he has with Anya, like, hey, why do you come back here when everyone thinks you're a traitor? And he's like, my reasons are complex, basically. But Suzaku's a bit fucked up that like the lingering effects of Lelouch's Geass means, despite his own death wish, he has to continuously self-preservation himself. Which is I think is a good wrinkle to have. there's like a Lelouch offers to reintroduce Valletta to Ogi, and there's a bit of a re-encounter during the whole I'm Zero scene where like you know, Oki does protect her for being like, you know, redistributed. I guess you could say like a retaliatory justice or whatever for being the colonizer. And then like he's like, "Oh, Oki, is that you?" He's like, no, I'm Zero." Which is, it is a silly sort of like rules lawyering. Is like, well, I will accept the autonomous zone in exchange for my exile. By which I mean, if we're all Zero, then all of us have to be exiled. I also like that Suzaku's caught in his rules lawyering. He's like, I can't let Zero go because he's a guilty man, but also for peace, I have to let him go. Which is like a nice getting him one over on him. Though Gino is like really down to just crack down on people violently in a way that's like, damn, you're evil actually. Like it's easy when they're all like quirky, fun anime characters to not think about it, and then it's like, oh no, you are evil. You're just like down to like do you know, mass slaughter while also palling around Suzaku. There's also a nice bit where like there's like memorial candles for Yuffie, and Lelouch also left one. He's like, "Wow, this is the last thing I needed to do before leaving." And you know, we also find out like Nina works for Schneisel directly, and also he likes her because he's like, "Oh, you know, I like your devotion to Yuffie."
Yes, it's really funny how Nina is like maybe the funniest like character trajectory where like you know, a year ago she was a normal student who was so racist that she developed nuclear energy and now she works for the government.
Yeah. She's like, well, my nuclear bomb in the flashback, find out her nuke didn't actually work, so she's like, well, don't worry, I got a new one. It's working better. And it's nice. It's like, got it out of girl, go get her. Ridiculous. Also, Jinkei has anime disease.
Yes.
Which I'm sure we'll see more of later. It'll be funny if he makes it out of the show, because that never happens when they have indeterminate anime disease.
You're not betting on him?
No. I know how it goes. Yeah, I already talked. I think, you know, we can maybe see how the rest of the series goes. I already talked about like all the loadedness of the Japanese diaspora thing happening now, which, you know, we don't need to belabor. I do like that, like the one glasses lady is like specifically calls them 1 million laborers, which is like very honest about colonialism. I also like that because Suzaku has somehow found himself as the most important person at work. He has to be the one in charge of like doing the cop thing and firing on the rebels, or like letting them go peacefully, and which would include letting letting Zero get away with his crimes. And Suzaku's like, well, I don't want to be Yuffie too, so I do have to let them go. And then we get a nice bit of like the very subtle like Lelouch revealing himself to Sayako. Just fun.
Yes. That was a fun.
It's a good. Doesn't need to be a big dramatic. It's just like, hey, guess what? It's nice. And they all get on a big boat with an iceberg on it. I think I don't know why the iceberg's on it, but you know. I guess the 1 million Japanese are just gonna go to China as refugees, which is a bit different than how a bunch of Japanese end up in China historically, but you know. Not as settlers this time, which is an improvement. But also,
yeah.
Which part of China? Will it be in Manchuria? I hope not, but we shall see.
You'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess maybe R2 maybe is, I don't know if it's just my summaries or just R2 is like this, but I guess maybe R2 at this point is.
I would not say all of R2 is like this, but specifically early R2 is kind of like this.
Okay, yeah, because this is definitely the shortest we've done so far.
Yeah, totally.
Because I feel like, oh, we're done already. I don't really have much more to say. Feels awkward. But that's alright.
No, I totally got it.
Do you have any more thoughts on this batch? Because I feel like because of that I haven't seen the show before.
Not really. Yeah. I guess what I can say is that like when I think the early part of R2 is the like weakest part of the show, but some fun stuff happens afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I didn't think this was like egregiously bad or different from what came before, but I guess
but it is like a little worse, you know?
Yeah, it's like maybe a bit of a step down, or the retread makes it a bit weaker, but we shall see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's maybe it for now. Until next month.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I'm considering the heat wave. I'm not gonna mind a bit of a lighter episode.
That's fine. We got like, I guess like 2 more months of this, and then other assorted stuff.
Yes. Then we get to watch the bad spin-offs, and we'll get to talk about what makes shows bad on just like a narrative structural level.
Yeah. I was thinking earlier this week, I was like, man, we're doing a whole episode on just the recap movies. Is that gonna be like the worst month, most uninteresting month? I don't know.
Well, that'll be the production history month.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm like, damn, never reconsidering what we should be covering, but maybe it's fine. Or at least what we could do, like full episodes. I don't know. Things to think about. We got some time.
Yeah.
I guess we can just go into outro plugs then.
Yeah, let's do it. You can find me, KimmyCatherine.bluesky.social. You can also find my games on mismatchedwings.itch.io. Yeah, those are my plugs.
Are you doing the game jam?
I am not doing the game jam this year. I want to make something longer than a jam game for once in my life.
Okay, that's fair. You can... The Twitter for the pod is ultra_Q, that's QUEV, at twitter.com. And on Blue Sky, it's ultraQ, _biscuit.social. And you can send an email for any Code Geass or Gamma related stuff at ultraqpod@gmail.com. If you're one of the rare people, I don't know who in the audience this is, who only listens to this and doesn't listen to the actual main pod, we're doing the original Crit Band on the main pod, and it's been good.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm a big fan of Gridman the anime, but probably more for Yuri reasons than for, like, Toku reasons.
Yeah, I mean, the Gridman Toku show is a so different tonally and stylistically show. It's really funny to contrast them.
I'm sure.
For one thing, the live action show is a lot sillier.
I believe it. Do you have any plans to like cover the anime someday, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we basically elevated Gridman to the status of Ultraman, so we're gonna be doing the anime eventually, but like we're doing it in release order, so it's gonna be a long way away.
Right, yeah, we're gonna be a while.
Yeah,
a while.
Because it's like, you know, we're early 90s right now, and those shows are mid to late 10s, so
late 2010.
Yeah, so I'll leave it. And by bit I mean several years, but you know, all in good time. Yeah. In that case, we can head to the sign off.
Yes, I will see you in the depths of Atlantis.
And I'll see you in Shell.
胸の中いつか拾った幸せのかけら集めてみよう忘れかけていたメロディー色あせず僕の真ん中に借りたままの漫画創作中たまたま見つけた色あせた文集天下をつかむなんて言われながらアホらしくて笑いが出た天下じゃなくて電車のつり革をつかむ日々あの頃の僕にごめんなさいねと微笑みながら頭を下げたありがとう